Hi everybody, welcome back. So last time we learned about things that animals do when it gets cold. They can either adapt, they can migrate, or they can hibernate. So I have another story about hibernation, and this is a brand new book I got from the library. It's called Winter Sleep, a hibernation story, written by Sean Taylor and Alex Morris. And I apologize in advance if my pages blow around a little bit. It's kind of windy up here today. I'll try my best to keep it flat for you. When it was summer, I stay at Granny Sylvie's house. She knows lots of things, like the names of flowers and how to spot a deer's hoof print. And where to splash around in the pond, climb a slope of green firs, pass through oak trees with moss on one side, and, find, what do you think she's gonna find? The secret glade. Butterflies fluttered even though it was late. Granny Sylvie helped me listen for songs of different birds. It was still warm. We stayed right in the summer magic of the night, and we kept so still we saw the dormouse who lives there run up a hazel tree. When I went back to see Granny, it was winter. I asked her, can we go to the secret glade? She said yes, if you can find it. Everything was different. The pond was frozen hard. The ferns on the slope looked dead, and the oak trees with moss on one side were all bony. And the glade was quiet and bare. It wasn't anything the same. No butterflies, no flowers, no birds. I wanted to see the dormouse, but Granny said the dormouse will be having a winter sleep. What do we call that? Do we remember? Good job, hibernation. The mouse is gonna hibernate. It was too cold to stay, and I said, nothing is alive in the winter. Granny Sylvie told me, it is. We can't see the dormouse, but she's hiding there. She'll be safely, deeply sleeping all winter long. This is her hibernation time. In autumn, she feasted on forest nuts, fruits, and insects. Then the long nights came. She felt cold, heavy, and sleepy. There was nothing more to eat. She made all of a nest ball. She's inside secretly snoring until the spring sun warms her body again. On the way back, I asked, are those other animals hiding in the tree? Granny said yes. Lots of bats hibernate in the trees. On warm nights, they fly across the forest, chasing insects and pulling spiders from webs. But even their food rests in winter, so bats snuggle up in a hollow trunk or cave and snooze through the frosty weather. I said, where do all the insects go? Granny told me, some are sleeping right under your feet. But the ground is frozen hard. But down below, there are stag beetles waiting to come out. The queen bumblebee sleeps in a tiny tunnel. Some moths and butterflies hide underground, often wrapped up, waiting for the spring. Mother earwigs look after their eggs until they hatch when spring comes. We were coming to the pond, so I asked, what about in the water? Granny said there's an ice on top of the pond that waits down below. Before it froze, frogs dived down deep into the slimy mud. Now they are still and breathing so slowly, they seem dead. But when the water warms in the spring, we'll hear them croaking again. I said, so all sorts of animals are having a winter sleep? That's right, Granny Sylvie told me. Some even make a special home for winter. A bear builds a den deep in the woods, perhaps in a cave, and an old tree trunk or a hidden hollow. Mommy bear slows right down and rests there with her cubs, curled up on a bed which she's made with soft moss, twigs, and leaves. Granny Sylvie was still telling me about the animals in winter when I was in bed. You see, she told me, there's plenty of life tucked up, hiding in the cold. I nodded. I could feel the cozy magic of the dark night outside. And I even thought it wasn't very late. I closed my eyes for a winter sleep. And then in the back of the book, it talks about what is hibernation. And then it talks about different mammals that hibernate. So we have a woodchuck, a ground squirrel, a polar bear, a bat, a deer mouse, a hedgehog, and a hamster. Then there's reptiles, amphibians, fish, and birds. So I'll show you all of these. Mini beasts. And then in the back, it also tells us how we can help. Leave out fresh water and feeders to help birds in the cold weather. Create some safe winter covers for mammals. This can be done by putting a bat box, building a log pile, or making a compost heap with wild scrubby area. Provide safe resting places for reptiles in compost, leaf piles, logs, or rocks. Plant a lot of flowers so there's plenty of food for the mini beasts when they wake up in the spring. Clear your pond from fall and autumn leaves so the water stays healthy and the pond life during the winter. And then it also says that you can find out more, and it has a website below that you can visit to get more information. The end. I hope all of you learned something new about the winter and hibernation, or maybe some animals that you didn't know hibernated in the winter. I will see you guys next time. Bye.